Well,
Hello, hello, everyone. We are super excited that you are here with us for Tuesday Live Learning. And for those of you who may not know who we are, I am Deidre Harder, and this is Carmen Reed-Gilkison, and we are the co-founders of Encore Empire, where we help female entrepreneurs grow and scale their business in a way that aligns with their values, their goals, and in a way that does not overwhelm them. And we are really excited to bring you this topic that we're talking about today. It's about um, finding the gap in the market and how to stand out. And this is something we all need to be doing on a regular basis because if you've ever felt, who here has ever thought, oh my goodness, there's so many people doing what I do? Does anybody feel that way? Let us know in the comments and also say hi. Let us know who's here. And let's dive right into what we're going to be talking about today.
yes. So, in order to draw people to us, we need to stand apart from the crowd in some way that they resonate with, right? It's not just that we like the color yellow, so we're going to wear yellow. It has to be some way that they resonate with. So, you don't have to be everything to everyone, and you don't want to be. You want to be firm in your beliefs and your approach to how you serve so that people who hold the same beliefs will be attracted to you. So, it's such a fascinating topic, and it's really about just leaning into who you are, right? Sometimes we think of ourselves, I'm weird, or I'm different, or I'm slow, or I'm whatever it is, whatever your quirks are, whatever you are, be you, because that's how you're going to attract the people that are attracted to you. You don't want to be someone else. And today we're going to cover, as Deirdre mentioned, finding the gap in the market, which is super helpful way to discover how to make yourself stand out. We're going to talk about what makes you different and how to figure this out. And then we want to always be looking at the competition to see what are they doing and how could I do it in a way that I think is either better or brings a better level of understanding or is in some way something that my audience is going to appreciate. And so we want to look at our competition, but we don't want to get into comparisonitis mode or think that we have to become them. We're trying to set ourselves apart from the crowd, not become cookie cutters of all these fabulous people that we see out there.
That's right. So I want you guys to write down this phrase or type this out because this is like one of the big keys to success in your online business. If you're a coach or a consultant or a service provider, it is really important for you to find the gap in the market. Okay. So write that down. Find the gap in the market. And then we're going to talk about what does that mean. So no matter what business you're in or what service you're providing or what business model you have or how you deliver your programs and services, there are others that provide something similar to you. I didn't say exact, but they're providing something similar. And we understand the differences because it's ours and we have designed that to be different, but our audience doesn't know that unless we show them what that difference is. So, whether you've just gotten started in business or you've been in business for 3 or 4 years or you're pivoting, it always looks like the marketplace is very crowded, right? And that there may not be room for you. And this comes in when we start to doubt if we aren't clear on what our path is, what our strategy is. A lot of times we can get into this space of thinking, I wonder if there just isn't room for me here. Like, is that the reason why I'm struggling with this part of my business? Well, this is not the reason. Okay. It's not that it's too crowded. If there are others in your market and they're serving your niche, that's actually a good sign that it's a profitable niche. Okay. So I want you to kind of flip the mindset around here. Like there's a whole bunch of other people doing it, but it's actually a good sign. It means you're in the right place doing the right thing. Now, when you start to look at the competition and what other people are offering, you will notice similarities, but if you look long enough, you're going to begin to see the gap. So, what is the gap? Well, the gap is the missing ingredient in what others are offering. And it can be the thing that customers complain about or that they wish for, or it's something that you know to be true. And this missing ingredient could be in what they're offering. It could be in how they're offering it. It could be what they're teaching, what they're providing. This gap can show up in many different areas. And so your job is to find what it is that they're doing that you can do better. Okay. And we all see it. If you start looking at it through gap finding instead of comparisonitis, like Carmen talked about, you will begin to see what is it about that you know could be better. And again, we've talked a lot about we just talked about last week, and we talk about this all the time, like really identifying with your audience, what is it that they need, and using their words, finding out what is it that they wish they had, they want, what have they tried in the past that has worked or hasn't. This kind of research is really, really critical because it is also going to help you see what does your audience see as the gap. So let's use an example that we're all familiar with. Now, if you go to Amazon.com and pull up any product, even the best products, like the best of the best, you're going to see reviews of people telling you what they think is wrong with it, what's missing, what they wish it had. Okay. And it could be their customer service was really bad, or it could be a feature that doesn't really work, or something that, it's great, but, okay. And even though we're not talking about creating consumer products here, we're talking about the service industry that we're all in, this is still a great opportunity to learn. So how does this help you? Well, what you can do is you go to the book section of Amazon's. Personally, one of my favorite places. I have a wish list a mile long because I love books. But if you go look at books that are on your subject area, read the reviews. Because if you think about it, what do most coaches, course creators, and service providers, what are they giving when they write a book? They're usually talking about their process, right? They're coaching through a book. They're consulting through a book. They're giving you their secret sauce or their method or some area of expertise. So if you go read those reviews, you're going to gain some insights on what people loved about it. And you can incorporate that or make sure you've got that covered in what you're providing, or you're going to begin to see the gap. You're going to begin to see what are people talking about that, this was fluff. This was kind of generic. You can get the same information on YouTube. Like those are the kinds of things that you're looking for. Or you are looking for things like, well, this one section of the book was really helpful, but then this other one fell flat, or, that did not help me at all. There's way better information out there on this particular topic. So those are the things that you're looking for that can help you begin to identify this gap. And then again, you know who that author is. Go look them up on social. Go see, what are they doing? What are they putting out there? And so you're going to begin to see this picture of what this gap looks like. And you don't have to have a Grand Canyon gap. Okay. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be, it's all wrong. You're looking for one or two small things that really make the difference. I'm going to give you a quick example of what Carmen and I did when we were looking for the gap in our market as business coaches and strategists. We found that one of the gaps is that when you get into a coaching program and you're working with an expert, that you don't usually have access to the expert. You might have access to the expert's team of people, and you have access to all kinds of information and trainings and tutorials, but and you have access to a human being, but that may not be the human being you need to be talking to. And when it comes to strategy, it's very important that you've got a strategist who's looking at you individually and your business and helping you map out what your goals, what goals should you be focused on in order to get where you want to go. And so that's not cookie cutter. And so that cookie cutter approach doesn't work. And so that's one of the things we built into our coaching program to ensure that there was going to be access to the experts and everything was customized.
That's right. And one thing I want to say about the example that Deirdre gave about going to Amazon and looking at the book reviews, and let's say you find a book from someone on a topic that has to do with your industry, you want to look for more than just one, right? So we're trying to get a broad idea of what's going on in the industry so we can stand out. And so with one book review, you might find that they say this. With another, you might find that they say this. With the third, you might find that it kind of ties into both of those. So the more research you do, the more that things will start revealing themselves to you. You'll start to be able to see patterns. If you don't do enough research and you just take it at face value that, okay, well, on this one book or this two books or these three books, this is what people said, that might not be deep enough. So we're trying to look at the industry that you're in and find the pattern that keeps coming up. Like people always talk about lead generation in this manner, and I really think it should be done this way, so that's what makes me different. And this is our next section. What makes you different and how to figure this out? So what made you decide to start the type of business you started? There must be something that drew you to it. Perhaps it was your own life experience. Many times we choose to help others overcome something that we overcame ourselves. So write down what made you feel so strongly about the transformation you want to help others with in the first place. It's a great practice to go back and reconnect with our why from time to time. In fact, very often, more than monthly, like if you can always have your why on top of mind, like I am on a mission, this is important to me because of whatever your why is. And so a quick way to set yourself apart from others is when you see a majority of people in your industry doing the same thing, use that as a nudge to figure out a different approach. So, a lot of times people see that this is working for that person. So I'm going to create my business to be just like that because it's working, right? And it is true what Deirdre said in the beginning too. If you have a saturated market, that is a good sign. But we don't want, if there's 50 people doing the same kind of thing, we want to be that one that stands out. That's how we attract the people that's going to light us up, that they resonate with what we have to say or what we believe. So an example of doing something different is pizza restaurants. I remember the day when you could only get a cooked pizza from a pizza establishment. Remember? Now there's Papa Murphy's and others where you purchase a pre-made pizza that you cook at home. Well, Papa Murphy, that's their unique selling proposition, or Papa John, or whoever the first one was that came up with it. That's their different approach. And that's revolutionary in that industry, right? Now it's commonplace. But sometimes we shy away from our own thoughts and ideas because we think, well, no one's going to understand what I'm saying or thinking, or people are just going to think I'm weird. Like, it kind of takes guts to go, hey, entire $1 billion pizza industry, we're going to do it. We're going to sell pizzas that aren't cooked. And, people might have been like, that's weird, but now look at it. It's another aspect or segment of that industry. So what is happening? Watch what's happening in your industry. What are others doing? And do you do the same things? And if so, why? Is there a way you can get the same or better results by approaching things differently? So it's kind of fun. We talk about this a lot, where you look at entrepreneurship and your market and developing offers and researching your ideal client, and researching your competition. It's kind of like exploration and an experiment. So when you can look at things objectively, it requires being able to stand back and say, okay, the whole industry is doing this one thing. How could I make this better? Or what do I think would be better? And you have to have the guts to then go for it. But you might be the one who revolutionizes your industry, right? So grab a notebook and start a log of comparisons between you and what others in your industry are doing. Write down common practices in your industry. do some research on your competitors. Are they doing some or all of the common practices? Are they doing something unique? That's another fun thing to look for is when you look at these, maybe the top dogs in the industry, or maybe not even the top dogs, can you identify that their unique thing, the thing that makes them stand apart? If you can see it in others, it might be easier for you to be able to see it in yourself. So what can you identify that your clients need, but nobody else is doing? And that's where the whole book review thing is, or looking on people's social media or their websites and seeing what people are saying about working with them, or was it a positive experience and why? Was it a negative experience and why? And listen to what your customers complain about, as Deirdre mentioned earlier. That's indicative of a gap in the market. If you can fill that gap, you can stand out. So to identify how to begin differentiating yourself, ask yourself what you're most passionate about in the work that you do. Ask yourself what you firmly believe or what you firmly don't believe about what's happening out there. So polarization is a great differentiator. If you can polarize people, like, you stand up and say, this is what I think, and it's going against the grain, people are like, wow, and then some people will be like, you know what? Yeah, I think that too. And then that's how you bring people over to your side. So don't put pressure on yourself to be revolutionary. Just work at being 100% you. Before you can be 100% you, you'll need to know what it is that you stand for and what you stand against. So it's really important to do this deep inner work. And Deirdre and I really talk about our inside out approach, because without the inside out approach, you're doing everything surface. You're looking at what's happening out there. What are they all doing? I'm going to do something that what they're doing. And while of course we want to look at competition and we want to see what's going on in the industry, we aren't basing our business on that. We need to know first, what are our values? What do we stand for? What do we stand against? Be strong in your convictions, identify them, and feel good about it. So this is where values come in handy. And so you want to write down your list of values. We like to say, write down your top 5, like what's important to you: freedom, independence, creativity, whatever they are. Get a good idea about what your values are and kind of lean into those and think about how those values help guide you to how you run your business. And that will also help you learn how to differentiate yourself.
Mm-hmm. And another really great thing I thought about, Carmen, as you were talking, is this exercise not only helps you stand out, but it helps you build your own confidence. Yeah. Like, have you ever looked at someone who's much further along? Like let's say you're a health coach, have you ever looked at someone else and gone, oh my goodness, they have got so, it looks like they have so many clients and they're so popular and they're doing so well and they have all these followers. When you begin to kind of look at them, and we had the same experience, we were following a guru and then we got into it and well, what do you know? We're actually doing this thing way better. So it builds your own confidence to know that, wow, even though this person looks like, and just as an aside here, we can only tell so much. You only see the surface on social and you only see the good stuff. You don't really see what's going on behind the scenes. So keep that in mind. But it can help you really kind of stand taller and more confident. And then that is what is going to attract people to you as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about looking at the competition, but not becoming the competition. So as we said earlier today, finding that gap, no matter what business you're in, there's going to be other people who are providing something similar. They are in your industry. Now, studying your competition helps you identify what this gap is, but it also helps you identify best practices that you can use in your own business. So we are looking for 2 things. We are looking for what could I do differently? What's more aligned with me? What could be better? But we're also looking at what is our industry doing that is a best practice? There are certain things as business coaches, we teach about identifying your ideal client. This is not revolutionary. We did not come up with this. There are hundreds of other coaches out there who are talking about exactly the same thing. However, we do have our own nuances. We do have our own spin on things. And so, but we know it's a best practice. If you don't know who your ideal client is, you're not going to get very far when it comes to building your business. Like, you really have to know this. It's like foundational step one. Got to know this. And we know that. And so that's why it is there in our program as well. Even though we know tons of other people are talking about it, we talk about it too, because it is something that is foundational to your business. So and here's that thing Carmen said, like polarize your audience. I'm going to say something that some people may not agree with. Now, there is nothing new in the world, only variations of things. And I'm talking about when it comes to online business owners. I'm not talking about, cures for, illnesses and diseases and things. I'm talking about in business, there's really nothing new in the world. There's only variations. So you want to do you. Okay, that is your superpower. Just you as a human being, as an individual, as using your experience, bringing in all the things. That's why you are so unique, and your business is very unique, because there's no one like you. No one has experienced what you've experienced. You may have a certification from something, and there might be hundreds of others with the same certification, but you are bringing your own perspective and your own experience with you into that certification. So it automatically makes you unique. Yeah. So just know you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Sometimes it's the smallest thing that makes the biggest difference. And customers and clients expect certain things to be included. If your if your group coaching program is designed exactly like, all these other people, that's fine, because that's what our clients and customers expect. Like, they have an expectation of what does a group coaching program look like? What does a done for you service with a copywriter look like? Like, they have certain expectations because, it's industry-wide practices. So we want to make sure those are there. As business coaches, our clients expect us to teach them certain things, like how to create a marketing strategy, how to create content that converts into paying customers. And so there are many other business coaches that teach the same thing, but we don't go, oh, well, there's others out there teaching the same thing. So, we really shouldn't be in business, or, we should do something different. What we've done is we've taken the best practices of other experts, and then we've added our own tried and true experience with our relationship marketing system. And this creates a similar and yet unique method that's highly effective. So I'm going to say that again, because this is really important. You don't need to be a business coach for this to be a principle that you can apply. You're taking best practices from other experts, and you're adding in your own tried and true experience, that which you know to be true, that you have done. And using relationship marketing, meaning people get to know you and you're talking about all of this, to create a similar yet unique method that's highly effective. So this is really a big key to your program success and your business success. We determined that one of the gaps in our market was, or a few of them were, authenticity, values, and then having that personal guidance from the experts. And there are too many women that are going through courses and programs that give them a lot of information and good information, but without providing that one-on-one guidance or having someone readily available to answer your questions when they come up, and not a week from now when someone's going to go live in a Facebook group. Without having that sound strategy and having the transformational results, that's a gap. That's a gap in our market. And we identified it. And so that's what we did. We filled that. And we can show you how to do this exact same thing as well in your business and in your market. This is how you stand apart from the crowd, and this is how you attract your ideal client avatar. Now, if you love this topic and you love what we're talking about, and this is an area that I really need to kind of hone in on, I need, to really nail this down, then we can help you put all this into action. We're starting or having our marketing methodology workshop on Tuesday, September the 27th. The marketing methodology workshop builds on the principles of what we're talking about today. We are going to teach you how to really resonate on an emotional level with your ideal clients, and it is through your marketing plan. It is through your conversion events, and we're going to teach you this framework that we've used that's very successful. All of our clients are using it, and it's very successful, and we want to teach you how to do it. And through this process, you're going to take this. You still need to go out and do this work, this research, but then bring it with you to the marketing methodology workshop, and we're going to plug it all into a framework. And it's a system and a process that you can use over and over again, and it will save you a ton of time and get you much better results than you may have been getting with all of your marketing and conversion events up to this point.
That's right. And it kind of takes what we talked about today, where we're teaching you we're giving you at least tips, first steps in how to set yourself apart from the crowd. And then it's how to communicate that to the people that you are trying to reach, right? And that's what we help you with in the marketing methodology workshop, helping you connect on the emotional level in a way that your audience goes, yes, I want more of that. I want to join what you're doing. I want to purchase your program. And so it's a ton of fun. Everyone walks away after 5 days together with your marketing plan for the entire year. And you understand how to create conversion events to get people jazzed up and excited about what it is you have to offer. So we hope to see you there.
That's right. So just go to EncoreEmpire.com/MMW to check out the details. And we will see you back here, same time, same place for Tuesday Live Learning.
And actually on Thursday, we have a special guest coming on as well. So we will be on Thursday too for an interview with Jennifer Zenz Olson, who is going to talk about how to get abundance into your business. So she is an energy and abundance and lifestyle coach, and she's awesome. So you're going to love her energy, and she's going to be dropping some great bombs on Thursday. So look for that event coming out today. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.